So let's show you that again. We put one nut on, and the problem with these is they're so damaged that they don't thread on very easily. We'll just swap them over until we can get one that goes in. In fact, that stud seems to be loose enough that I may be able to get it out by hand. It's starting, but it's not going all the way. So we're just gonna put this nut on all the way down. If it gets jammed, we just use the spanner. So as you can see, this is why I want to put new studs in here, really, because these threads are really rusty and really damaged. That seems to be moving the stud in a little bit. But it'll only go so far because there's a little stopping area, a little area that doesn't have any thread on the stud. So it won't go in all the way. So we get that one in. As far as it'll go, we'll get this one down. And then we undo with the back one. So it's a really gentle process if you get it right. They lock down against each other, these two nuts. Let you pull the whole stud out. The only thing is, you obviously can't get your ring spanner over the back one because there's a lug, like a washer. Like that stud's out. And then just one more to go. Doesn't take a lot of force. Doesn't take a lot of aggression, doesn't need any heat, doesn't need any impact wrenches. You can be quiet at 8 o'clock in the morning when your neighbours are still all in bed and you're doing work on the car, and you can still take your studs out. Again, it's a slow, gentle procedure until it's loose enough to do by hand. And then we can put the 3 new studs in. Now remember, we have 2 ways these could go in, and the way we need to put them in is the short end into the block and the long end out to the manifold. So we're just going to take them in as far as they'll go. Yes, you can see blood on my hand, by the way. I've caught myself. It's not the end of the world. We'll live. I'm not monetised, so I can't be demonetised. So you can see the blood. Haha. This one's just being a bit awkward, so I'm going to back thread it until it lines up, and then try again, and just keep doing it again. Just be gentle, don't go crazy with these and cross thread them because you'll destroy the head. Now remember, we have 2 ways these could go in, and the way we need to put them in is the short end into the block and the long end out to the manifold. So we're just going to take them in as far as they'll go. Yes, you can see blood on my hand, by the way. I've caught myself. It's not the end of the world. We'll live. I'm not monetised, so I can't be demonetised. So you can see the blood. Haha. This one's just being a bit awkward, so I'm going to back thread it until it lines up, and then try again, and just keep doing it again. Just be gentle, don't go crazy with these and cross thread them because you'll destroy the head. Well, that ended up being a bit of a pain in the bum. I ended up having to get my dies out and recut the thread. For some reason that one, when it turned up, was a little bent, I think. So it had damaged the thread, and somehow something had happened to it, I don't know what. But the threads needed recutting, so I've redone them. It's that one in the middle. What I've also done is, before I put the manifold on, I did my double locking nut trick that I'd previously used for removing the old ones, and I did it on these studs, the new studs, to tighten them up. So they were into the head as tight as they could be before I put any of the manifold or the gasket on. Okay everybody, this is the last time the manifold's going to go in, so I'm going to torque everything down to 27 foot-pounds or 36 Newton meters. It's going to take two hands to do this properly, so if you give me 1 second I'll position you and I'll come back. Okay everybody, I think I've got you securely there. So to torque things down, what you're going to do is obviously set your torque wrench, and then you keep working until you hear a click. So you're going to hear, when you get to the tension, sorry, to the torque that you've set. And this doesn't seem to want it. There you go, click. Always do it twice. So that's 2 settings. Now these are copper nuts, so they're actually squashing into place. So I would say these are probably single use nuts. I wouldn't want to use them torqued down more than once. That's one click, release, and a second click. I know they're definitely down to specification now. I'm going to do the bottom three. That's all of them down to 27 foot-pounds or 36 Newton meters. It's in rock solid. Should have sealed everything around the edge. Should have crushed this gasket so everything's nicely sealed. I'm going to put the O2 sensors back in, and that should be the last time I have to touch the manifold. Look what just turned up, everyone. So this is a sports cat and the back box for the MR2. So the sports cat's going to attach to the three amigos, as they're called, come out to about here, which is then going to attach to the back box. So I'm going to get you guys all on some sort of supported positioning so you can actually see what I'm doing. catalytic converter on. This is a sports car. It's by a company called Malian, who are, I believe, based in the northwest of England in the UK. We have two O2 sensor ports. This is the one we're going to use, the one that's after the cat. This is because we've got a standard ECU and we're using a standard O2 sensor, not a wideband. So this is actually for wideband sensors for the aftermarket ECUs. So now for the back box. Okay everyone, the problem I'm having is with this V-band, it doesn't want to close around when the exhaust tailpipe is on. So let me put you down. See if you can see what's going on. So for those that don't know how these work, V-bands literally are a V inside, and they go around here and this flange here and then clamp down, a bit like a Jubilee clip. And the problem I have is when it's all together, there's not enough thread to catch at the top for the nut to go on. And we're talking 1/4 of an inch. As you can see, not enough space. No thread showing at all. And I only need a couple of threads to get on, and then I can start tightening it. It's just like this screw is just a 1/4 inch too short. One thing I will check is that these two flanges sit flat, which they're slightly warped actually, but it shouldn't be enough to. The faces aren't flat. Well, what a pain in the behind that was. Nothing's tightened up yet, but we finally got it in. I've greased all the hangers so they can go in and out better. This V-band, when it was on the other side, wouldn't close. I couldn't get the nut on. So what I had to do was take the one off this side that had been pre-crushed and move it to the other side and put the new one again on this side. The reason is the flanges between here and here are not flat on the faces. So what seems to be happening is it's holding them apart, and that means that you can't quite get the V-band tight enough. Now if there was another 1/4 of an inch on the bolt of the V-band, that wouldn't have mattered, because I'd have been able to start the nut and then it would have just clamped everything together. Or if they did on the faces nice and even. This seems to be a build quality issue with the Malian exhaust. I'm not impressed with that slight thing, but everything else seems pretty good, to be honest. The welds are solid, the welds look really nice actually. They haven't chromed all of the welds though, so this one here has been chromed after it was welded. This one hasn't, this one hasn't, this one hasn't. So I can see those rusting where they've been TIG welded. But let's tighten everything up, let's get it all set up for the bumper, because I've currently got 2 different height tailpipes. So once that's set up and everything's tight, we'll get the car back together. good, all heating up, so the colour's going to change while this heats. I'm not going to leave this running very long though, because I've got to check the oil just to make sure that the oil's at the right level, and I've also got to put the car back down on the normal level plane, take it off the axle stands, and I've got some more stuff to do at the back here because I need to put everything back together before we take this for a little spin and have a listen to how it sounds and feel how it performs differently. But that there is the exhaust on the car. Made some mistakes taking the old one off, made a few more mistakes putting the new one on, but it's on and it's clean and it's ready to go. And the reason I cleaned it, by the way, just so you all know, is anything you have on these will stain them when they get hot. Stainless steel or chromed steel is horrible for having marks on it when you heat it up. So if I had left my greasy fingerprints on there and then run the car, it would have left those greasy fingerprints on forever. There's no way of getting it off. So I cleaned everything up just so that when we start running this car properly and we get all the temperatures correct, we'll have some sort of idea. Sorry, start again. We'll have some sort of even finish to the colour changes as things change, as things develop with the heat.